Is this a rap thing?
No, it's a question because Santa does this a lot. Just a question.
Oh, what does Santa do for Jesus? What does Jesus do for Santa? Gotcha.
Never mind.
That was a good one.
Do you have a catchphrase?
Kyle?
Can I say it?
Of course you can.
I'm the media is what you're trying to say?
No.
Let's go with Yo soy el queso.
I'm the media.
I'm not finished.
You are the cheese. Cheese! It's going to be your name every time you walk in our locker.
cheese?
No, cheese. Just cheese. Like the dork that got thrown into the trash can in Wedding Crashers. Or old school.
Okay. This is my 14 inches.
That's
a good catchphrase.
I was naked in a sauna at the Super Bowl one year with Franco Harris.
I was.
And what'd you do to him?
Facts are facts.
I said, Franco, one of my best friends is Vito Stellino, who covered Franco.
You would try to make small talk.
And
you are so,
he goes,
oh my God.
He looked up at me and goes,
give it up.
He looked at me and basically said, I hate that guy. And the next I said to Vito.
So do you come here often, Franco?
Vito, did you have a problem with Franco? He goes, he threw me out of the locker room one day. Well, fine, throw me out of the locker room. He picked me up and took me outside.
All right, we have some...
Was Franco still a player at that point?
Do you want to know about the Dan Riley, Mark Schlereth fight in the locker room one day?
No.
I do later.
Oh, speaking of, who's the beast? I don't know if he's in strength and conditioning, but there is the new guy on the field. Cedric.
The string coach.
Oh, my God.
Are you answering questions, Rich, about the Texans?
Sorry, babe.
What?
That guy is a beast. Wow. Strength conditioning guy?
Hey, and you know my guy, Darius Jones from that went to that I wrote about.
Yeah.
I believe he's going to be interning in the with the Texans in the strength
Good
room,
kid.
I think.
Good kid.
I know he's going to be working out.
Good.
All right, I think I want to go to the questions that these Twitter fans asked.
Well, that
Because
certainly
there's
has been a good interview so far.
There's so many. Well, mine are good, but I have to get rid of a couple of them.
No, ask.
No.
Well, let Johnny clear him first. I think it's more the FCC than it is you, Richie.
yeah, I think that's exactly what it is.
We should hand it to Kyle and just say, Kyle, read the ones that you've got to.
All right.
Read the ones you can.
Well, I'm just going to read ones. We're going to ask one about... what is your favorite goat's name in Waxahachie, Texas? I'm sure he had many relations to choose from.
That's not a you question. That's a Twitter question, right?
That's a Twitter question.
Do you care to say who tweeted that one? Do they get a little love on the Twitter ID?
No, I can't do that.
Son, if you were raised in a small town, that wouldn't be so funny.
See, you're trying to go calm.
I'm sorry. Okay, ask.
Well, that's kind of rough. Some people are... What? See, the things that bothers me is why do you always intend on writing, like, the malicious story? You say because a lot of people don't want to tell the truth, but it seems like the entire time you would rather be known as the guy who, like, no one likes more than the guy who people like. Why do you want to be that known?
Well, I'm the columnist, and when you're not playing well, I tend to write stuff that you're not going to like, but when you're playing well...
Even when... But... All right. Fair enough. When we're not playing well, you'd write things you like. But it seems like you have like a malicious intent behind it that you don't really care. Nor like it seems like everyone that like talks about you or whatnot has very little nice things to say. Don't you think would be?
Well, if I'm doing my job, I should be the most popular columnist at the Houston Chronicle and the most hated columnist at the Houston Chronicle. That would be the way I look at that. And Texans fans are different than Astros fans. When you rip the Astros, they go, "You're an a-hole. You should have done this a month ago." When you rip the Texans, they go, "How dare you talk about our football team?" And
no one says, "How dare you talk about our football team?"
Oh,
believe me, everyone
people,
talks about our
Texans.
team. No one's worried about that.
Texans fans do not like people being critical of their team. I think that's been my experience.
I would say across as a rule, Texans fans tend to feel more like they are part of the team, whereas Astros fans feel more. And I think some of that has to do with the way both teams have been run the last 3 or 4 years too.
Yeah.
So.
Plus, you gotta understand what city you're in. You're in what state you're in. You're in Texas, it's football state. I mean, football rules, and you're gonna feel probably a little bit more provincial about your home football team.
Right, but I think I've written almost the last 2 seasons overwhelmingly positive stuff. I'm the one that defended Gary left and right.
No, you didn't. You said he should be fired.
No, I
That
never.
is a lie. I had like 1,000 people write me say you put something on your blog that he should be fired, and then you put it up and then have to delete it and say never mind.
No, I think Jerome wrote that he should be fired in a column. I have never written that. But I always think there have been points where you think he's not going to be able to survive, and yet at the end of the year when you look at it 9-7, you say you can't fire a guy from 9-7. I mean, you guys agree with that, right?
Yeah, I thought Gary Kubiak should come back.
Yeah, 9-7. But I mean, progress hasn't been as much or as quick as people would want. But somebody told me, said, don't compare them to the Falcons. The Falcons were in the NFC Championship game like 2 years before. What's his name got there? Mike Smith got there, right? What's the name of the Ravens coach? I'm blanking out on it.
Harbaugh. It's Jim Harbaugh's brother.
John Harbaugh.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. So he did it fast too.
Yeah, but I mean that Falcons team was completely different in 04 than they were in 06. I mean, you took number 7 off that lineup, and it almost became an expansion team in some sense. I mean, they had nobody at that point, And I'm not saying that I just think Mike Smith did a nice job with that team, but they're 32 different teams. They're 32 different stories. They're 32 different approaches. I mean, you can't say, well, this team did it that way and this team does it this way. Well, why don't we all do it like the Patriots
or like the Saints?
Yeah, like
they did it with street free agents and draft picks.
I mean, it's different. I mean, different people and different organizations have different philosophies.
447. Do you have more?
I got a couple.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
I have a couple more statements, and then I'll end with a small rhyme. Let's see. Well, since someone answered these.
No, go ahead.
Skip through. Well, it's not more as a question as a note. Because, I think the one thing that bothers us is, when we talk crap or say crap, it's always to an opponent to, gain an edge. But you talk crap to, your own people, which I think bothers us and makes us think you couldn't never last in our world.
You mean John McClain?
No, you talk crap to everybody in the town, it seems like. And you say your excuse is that you're supposed to be the most popular and also the most hated.
The only thing I can do is tell the story the best way I can figure it out. And Ben Bradley said, newspapers don't tell the truth. They tell as much of the truth as they know on that day. Then they get up the next day and try to tell some more of it. I can only give you my side of the story. I can't give anybody else.
We understand that. And I'm not speaking for, Texans or, our team or whatnot. Obviously, this is obviously a lot of jest in it. But I'm just, saying, it just seems like, why would you want to be so hated?
My job is to tell the truth the best way I know it, and I get it wrong sometimes. I'm right sometimes.
How come you're the only guy in our locker room that has to hang his head and be careful who he talks to? Then it seems like every reporter in there can talk to any of us. Yeah, 90% of our team does not want to say a word to you.
Well, I haven't found.
How many guys on our team do you have their phone number? Probably
I don't think I have any Astros phone numbers.
Right? But why would you want to be so disliked by the team opposed to something else?
Hey,
it seems you get more out of your job the other way.
No. Kissing butt is not a way to do my job. No, that's exactly what you're saying.
I'm not saying you have to kiss any of our butts.
I'm only telling the truth. When you're horse crap, I write that you're horse crap.
That's fine.
And if you don't like it, go play amateur-based football where where sports writers don't come around.
I absolutely agree with you, but I'm just saying it seemed to be more like if you want to write.
It's not my job to be liked.
Okay. Then you won't be liked.
Right. And I don't care. I can only do my job the best way I know how.
I'm just asking you a question.
I don't answer to you. I answer to my boss.
I'm not asking you to answer me. I'm asking you a question.
But I'm
asking you a question. I just asked you a question. That's all I asked. And you don't have to get all aggressive. I'm just saying that, doesn't it seem it could be done both ways? And
well, the only player
if you say no, then say no. That's
the only player that I know that didn't want to talk to me that I know of. Moby was really, in Game 16, didn't want to talk to me. And I went, and then we had to sit down a month ago. And he brought it up. He said, you wrote something in training camp, and I've kept it in my playbook. And you were hard on the defensive line. But, David.
I don't think anyone is discouraging that. I don't want to cut you off. Go ahead, please.
No, great.
I don't think no one gets mad about what you say. I just wanted to ask that simple question. And you don't have to kiss anyone's butt around the Texans. Believe me, no one does it anywhere. So it's not like we care. I was just seeming like it could be done. And if you're saying it can't, all I was asking is it seemed like it could be done both ways. A lot of people walk in that locker room, and and
who do you have that comes in that locker room that I have broadcasts anything critical? Do you know one TV guy that has said one critical thing about the team?